It was 2014, the day my life was changed forever. I was worthless at the time, a total failure. I was homeless, depressed, addicted to drugs, and I had nobody who cared about me. I had thought about ending it all multiple times, but never worked up the nerve to. I lived on the street because no shelter would take me. I was lucky to even be able to eat once a week, and I always lived in fear of the other people on the street, as I've seen them murder over literal pennies before. I had nothing but my life, and I was always scared of losing that as well. But then on October 8th, something particularly unusual happened. A man wearing the darkest black suit I've ever seen walked up and sat down next to me. I was scared, but for some reason I greeted him and introduced myself anyway. He, much to my surprise, didn't berate me like most people of his status. Instead, he greeted me back and introduced himself as Nick. He asked what was wrong and how I ended up here. I don't know why, but I suddenly felt like telling him my entire life story from start to finish. I started with my abusive parents and just kept talking from there. The teachers who hated me and tried to make me fail throughout the whole time I was in school, to being rejected from every college I applied to being fired from my job, to my wife leaving with the kids, to my current addiction to drugs on the street. Nick listened to me, never once interrupting. When I was done, he looked me in the eyes and asked what I wanted the most. Without hesitation, being compelled to answer the man, I said I wanted to get revenge on everyone to blame for my situation and to be able to turn my life around. The man smiled and said that he can arrange it if we shake on it, holding out his hand. I saw the man had what looked like a pentagram tattoo on his palm. Not thinking much of it, I shook his hand and a burning feeling searing my palm as I did. I looked up at Nick to see his face had changed. It was mostly the same, but now his eyes were a burning orange. He let go and I looked at my hand, still searing with pain. It now had a pentagram-shaped burn. It was only then that I realized what I had done, but it was too late. Nick pulled out a long, ornate dagger and held it out to me. With this dagger, you'll be able to get revenge on everyone who wronged you and damned you to this life. I eagerly grabbed the blade. I got scared, however, when I lost all feeling in my arm and it started moving on its own, bringing the knife closer and closer to my chest. I tried to stop it, but it kept moving, a strength far greater than my own guiding it. The devil just laughed as I was forced to stab myself over and over, and he explained why this was happening, his voice deepening more and more. You see, you're the only one who wronged you. Your teachers hated you, yes, but not for no reason. You were always causing trouble in class, always interrupting them. You never paid attention. You got in fights with everyone. You did as much as you could to make their lives hell, and you only barely passed because you never paid attention. You never cared. Your well-deserved shitty grades are why you barely graduated and why no college wanted you. You got fired from your job because you barely ever went, and when you did, you didn't do any work. Your parents were never abusive to you. They just stopped giving you money when they realized it was going to drugs. Wanna know who was abusive now? You. Your wife and children. That's why she left you, not the fact that you lost your job. After all, she had a high-paying job that could provide for 13 people, and there were just you, her, and your 3 kids. You caused all of this. I heard him continue laughing as everything went dark. I woke up in the hospital. My parents, a cop, and the doctors around me. I, confused, asked what happened. The cop explained to me that another homeless man had attacked and tried to murder me over some money someone had given me, but later turned himself in, ashamed of himself and what he'd done. I was also informed that the man who gave me the money, a wealthy local businessman named Cameron McGregor, left an envelope for me insisting that only I read it and that I read it when I get home. I did. In the envelope was a letter and $5 million. The letter read,
Dear Mr. Jones, our deal has been fulfilled. You have gotten revenge on everyone that has wronged you, and you now have the opportunity to turn your life around. I recommend you take the opportunity, Tom. Otherwise, you will have wasted your chance and I will still get my payment. In 7 years, the hounds of hell will come for you. You will hear barking getting closer and closer as they get closer to returning you to hell. Best wishes, Old Nick.
And so, I took his advice. I turned my life around. I managed to get a good job. I earned my family back, and I even managed to apologize to most of the teachers I had tormented in school. But lately, something's been happening that scares me. Starting last week, I've been hearing barking getting closer and closer, and today is the 7-year anniversary of the day I made that deal. And now, the barking is right outside my house.